The Supremes are on a roll. Hey everybody, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show, and looking around and seeing all these articles and news things about all the things, the judgments that the Supreme Court has been bringing down have just been, it's been kind of nice to see, as gas prices going crazy, inflation going crazy, the president can't understand where to sit without a little helpy card that says, you go here, sit down, you go here, sit down. I'm sure they have like a big red X, on the chair that he's supposed to sit on, so that he knows, oh, I gotta go here and sit down, oh no. From that to Supreme Court upholds some big decisions. So, Supreme Court gun ruling reminds New Yorkers there is a right to bear arms. So New Yorkers were trying to say that you could only have a gun if you had a special reason to. This is actually may have ramifications further than they think, because currently this is the way it is in Los Angeles County. So if you have to go to the sheriff of the county and request your concealed carry, and unless you have a extreme reason for that concealed carry, you're not going to get one unless you're a retailer person who deals with large sums of cash going to and from. Maybe you've got someone who is made super violent threats against you and you feel you need to protect yourself, kind of thing. Then you might be able to get a concealed carry. Now, next door to that, in the next county over, Ventura County, yeah, if you want to go get a concealed carry, you can do that. But in Los Angeles County, that is a no. So this may also have ramifications for Los Angeles County. Basically, New York was trying to limit who can have weapons. That you needed a threat against you. You needed some big reason to do that. But that's not what the Second Amendment says. It says you got the right to keep and bear arms. So now, I'm sure New York is going to try and ignore it and add more things to it and change the law a little bit and try and get around it. And then eventually someone will sue and make a case, and it'll have to go back to the Supreme Court. And it's going to be this dance over and over again, probably for, years and years and years. So probably not much is going to change. But it does give you a nice thought that the Supreme Court is upholding the Constitution of the United States. That's the big thing that we want to have happen, right? So also, I think it was today, Supreme Court sides with a football coach who prayed after games. So this coach, Joe Kennedy, he would go out after a high school football game and says, anybody who wants to come out, to the center, to the 50-yard line and pray with me, have at it. If this is the United States, so if you want to worship in any way, I mean, the Constitution says that Congress shall make no law about what religion you can practice or anything like that. That was from where they came from, where the government basically forced you into into the religion back then. So today, now it's in the United States, it's Congress can't make any laws. That doesn't mean that you can't have prayer at a school. There just can't be a law about whether you can or can't have prayer at a school, right? The difference is, is seemingly word salad and a little, but it likes to be strewn the other way. Like, oh, you have to have separation of church and state. No. Congress just can't make a law about religion. So here we go. This was also overturned. So the case where Joe Kennedy prays on the 50-yard line after high school football games, Supreme Court ruled he enjoyed First Amendment rights to practice his religion. Thank you so much. I don't know if he's going to get his job back. He was fired for it. How did the nation react? Political reaction was mixed, of course. This was from USA Today, so that's very left leaning. So they're going to be very uh, uh, anti religion probably in this article, but I think it's good. I mean, we used to have small Bible studies on my high school. Used to have, we'd go pray and have a Bible study often, before or after school. Nobody, back then, nobody said one way or the other about whether, you could or couldn't do that. And there's all kinds of, there's Campus Crusade. There's all kinds of different groups that are on campus in colleges. And, I think it would be good for, people to understand that there's a higher sense of morality somewhere out there. Okay. So the big one that came down the other day is, of course, Roe v. Wade. So, and there's all kinds of protests going on about this. That this is from New York Post. It's going to be probably a very crazy explanation. Roe v. Wade basically made it under this privacy kind of thing, made it so that anywhere that the restrictions for abortion were handled by the federal government, and now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, it's back to the states. So if you're a state that has very liberal laws on this, then you're going to, it's going to be New York, probably Denver, and definitely California. So, I mean, it's all of the people. The odd thing is, all of the people protesting this thing are in the states where it's legal to do it all the way up until the day it's born, until the day the baby comes out of mom, right? It's those states. It's all the way up till then. So, they're insane. And some people watching some different interview things, people talking to other people, if Roe v. Wade goes away, then abortion is illegal all across the United States. Like, no, that's not true. You're just uninformed, and that's usually what it is: uninformed and ignorant people about what's going on. I mean, myself, we're in Florida, so I think that's 16 weeks or something like that, which I still think is too long. I mean, 0 days to me is before the woman gets pregnant is where it needs to stop. I mean, I always go back to the same thing that I go back to, which is, how dare you men do something to put a woman in that position? If you put a woman in that position, if you tell a woman that you love her and you put her in a position where she's pregnant with your child, that's on you. Right? You as the man are fully and completely able to restrain yourself and say, I love you so much that I'm not going to do this. That's my position. That's where I am on the whole thing. But I'm also in a married monogamous, relationship. So I have, freedom to do as I will. Right? So if you are in a married monogamous relationship, well then, that kind of helps the whole situation, right? If you're just dating somebody for a couple of months and then you want to do, go and have sex with them, well, that's really not helping anything. That's being irresponsible in every sense of the word. So, I mean, my position, of course, always comes from Psalm 139. I'm a Christian. I'm a Bible believer. So here, God says, David says in Psalms, for you formed my inward parts, you wove me in my mother's womb. So where is this? This is not when the child is after it's born. I will give thanks, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret. So God knows what's going on inside of a woman. The frame hidden in secret. I mean, did they have like x-rays or anything back then so they could see the bones being formed and all those things? No. God knows how it was put together. God knows how it is. And skillfully wrought in the depths of the earth. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance. So we're getting even further back, right? So inward parts. You're being woven together. It's like DNA kind of thing being woven together. Your frame, your body, your bones, and your structure. Now, even before your unformed substance. So now we're even further back to where it's just just the smallest bit of cells. And in your book were written all the days of my life, yet there was not one of them. So he hadn't walked yet. So before that, which means he's in his mother's womb. How precious are your thoughts to me, O God. How vast is the sum of them. So there was a preacher somewhere I saw that says he's all for abortion. I can't believe how any preacher would ever read, that psalm and have any understanding of what abortion is. So some of the other lies that I've read about and learned about over the years is, what about, when a woman gets attacked by a man and all this stuff and she gets pregnant. Well, typically, if you understand the biology of it, when a woman is attacked, their whole body basically goes into shock and shuts down. So the chances of them getting pregnant from an attack are very, very, very slim. I think the problem comes in when there's date rapes and things like that, or the date didn't go very well, so now they're saying rape on either side. I mean, it could be either way, but it's a very tricky kind of point. But better to not put yourself in that position. Better to say, I love you, I'm not going to do this to you. Right? That's so much better to me. Nobody ever died by not having sex. I'm just saying, you can control yourself. And how much more free are you in a married relationship after marriage, right? To have somebody that has your back, that's there for you, that all these these things that isn't gonna. I mean, we just passed. I've got over here our 30th, little thing that I made up for when we were at Disney. We've been married for 30 years. I mean, do I think my wife's going anywhere? Am I going anywhere? No. Right? How much better is that to have, intimacy between two people than, for decades, being together for decades and decades under, the marriage vows. So much better. So the other side, of course, is just random almost self-gratification just by, using somebody else. I mean, how is that better? It's just not. So anyway, lots of fun things out of the Supremes today, the Supreme Court this week. It's just nice to see that they're, there are some that are just going along with the party line for who put them in office, and that's fairly obvious. But reading through the opinions and things that are there and information that's there, it's nice to see that someone's paying attention to the Constitution of the United States and staying with that, because that's why I love this country. That's why I'm very blessed to be born in this country, right? I think everyone born in the United States is very, very blessed to be here. All right, what do you think? Are all these judgments correct? The only one I kind of have a problem with is the gun one, because maybe not everybody needs to have a concealed carry. I don't need really kind of wacko people carrying guns everywhere, because that tends to end up bad. But the ability to get a gun and hold it and protect yourself, I'm all for. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.